2024 August 8. Daily Bread Passage. Ezekiel chapter 8 verse 1 to 18. Key verse. Verse 9. Title: Detestable Practices. In the 6th year, in the 6th month on the 5th day, while I was sitting in my house and the elders of Judah were sitting before me, the hand of the sovereign Lord came on me there. I looked, and I saw a figure like that of a man. From what appeared to be his waist down he was like fire, and from there up his appearance was as bright as glowing metal. He stretched out what looked like a hand and took me by the hair of my head. The Spirit lifted me up between earth and heaven, and in visions of God he took me to Jerusalem, to the entrance of the north gate of the inner court, where the idol that provokes to jealousy stood. And there before me was the glory of the God of Israel, as in the vision I had seen in the plain. Then he said to me, Son of man, look toward the north. So I looked, and in the entrance north of the gate of the altar I saw this idol of jealousy. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing, the utterly detestable things the Israelites are doing here, things that will drive me far from my sanctuary? But you will see things that are even more detestable. Then he brought me to the entrance to the court. I looked, and I saw a hole in the wall. He said to me, Son of man, now dig into the wall. So I dug into the wall and saw a doorway there. And he said to me, Go in and see the wicked and detestable things they are doing here. So I went in and looked, and I saw portrayed all over the walls all kinds of crawling things and unclean animals and all the idols of Israel. In front of them stood 70 elders of Israel, and Jozaniah son of Shaphan was standing among them. Each had a censer in his hand, and a fragrant cloud of incense was rising. He said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of Israel are doing in the darkness, each at the shrine of his own idol? They say, The Lord does not see us, the Lord has forsaken the land. Again, he said, You will see them doing things that are even more detestable. Then he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Lord, and I saw women sitting there, mourning the god Tammuz. He said to me, Do you see this, Son of man? You will see things that are even more detestable than this. He then brought me into the inner court of the house of the Lord, and there at the entrance to the temple, between the portico and the altar, were about 25 men. With their backs toward the temple of the Lord and their faces toward the east, they were bowing down to the sun in the east. He said to me, Have you seen this, Son of man? Is it a trivial matter for the people of Judah to do the detestable things they are doing here? Must they also fill the land with violence and continually arouse my anger? Look at them putting the branch to their nose. Therefore I will deal with them in anger, I will not look on them with pity or spare them. Although they shout in my ears, I will not listen to them. God gave Ezekiel another vision for the elders of Israel, and for us. Ezekiel saw a fiery angelic being, who picked him up in the spirit and flew him to Jerusalem, where he could see how much sin was being committed there. Ezekiel saw an idol that had been set up near the inner court of the temple. Then the angel had Ezekiel go inside the city wall, where people were worshipping images of unclean creatures. Who was worshipping in this detestable way? They were the elders, who were supposed to be spiritual guides of Israel. God also showed women who were worshipping the Babylonian god Tammuz, and men bowing down and worshipping the sun. These were the types of sins that would bring God's judgment on Jerusalem. God wanted Ezekiel to see these sins, even though they were unpleasant, so no one could pretend these things were not happening or think idolatry was something abstract. Sinful acts are often done in the dark to keep them a secret. But this does not make them less detestable, even if no human being knows about them. Idolatrous practices corrupt our very soul. In Jesus, we are called to be children of light who have come out of darkness. Prayer. Father, I know that you can see all sin. Help me not love things done in darkness. One word. Leave behind detestable practices.